A very good and happy Monday morning to everyone out there across the Wobbles community. Landon here in the driver's seat with you, bringing you your latest weather and not forecast courtesy of On Target. Folks, our taste of fall has arrived, and it's coming here like a lion throughout the overnight. We've had the cold front that's passed down to our south and east. This is going to continue down in this direction. You can see we don't have any cloud cover across our region as we speak. We got this area of high pressure that's going to be swinging down in this direction, and clockwise flow is going to keep a northerly wind component intact. We'll be looking at winds out of the north and west as we work throughout the day, gusting upwards of 15 to 20 miles an hour at times. That is going to keep our temperatures well below average for this time of year, along with the humidity. It's going to be coming along with that. Let's get a look across the region, shall we? We'll kick things off overlooking the D93 Sky Cam in downtown Bowling Green. Beautiful view of the sunrise there without a single cloud visible in the sky. Much can be said overlooking the WRUS Sky Cam. Chris McGinnis country down in Russellville overlooking 431 North. Again, folks, not a single cloud out there. Loads of sunshine, and with the clear skies throughout the overnight and that northerly wind component, we have seen our temperatures absolutely plummet out there. All right, take a look at these readings, shall we? Temperatures in dew points, a far cry from what they were the last time we had our last video there on Friday morning. We were sitting right around the upper 60s and lower 70s in both temperatures and dew points. But a far cry from that, folks. If you're outdoors early this morning, you might need a light jacket on. Don't forget about those kiddos heading out, waiting for the bus stop as well, all right? We got more of the same to talk about here for the short term, at least throughout the majority of this week, with what's going to be occurring here as we work throughout the upcoming days, all right? Here's the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, folks. We have got this trough that has completely cemented itself over the Great Lakes region and stretching over towards the Midwest. The upper level ridge continues to build right over the center of the Four Corners region across the desert southwest. That northwest flow is going to continue to bring these reinforcing jolts of this cooler, less humid air that's going to continue to reside across the region throughout the vast majority, if not all, the work week, with some rain and storm chances that'll only be rather isolated in nature, it would appear, holding off until we get into our Saturday and Sunday with the weekend ahead, all right? So we want to talk about what's going to be coming along with that, and simply put, we're going to be watching these ideal temperatures and dew points hang around. Here we are looking at this afternoon. We're going to be climbing all the way up to right around the mid and upper 70s across the region. No complaining allowed whatsoever with those readings intact. And look at the readings by sunrise on Tuesday. Again, down somewhere between the upper 40s and lower 50s across the region. We'll top back right around the low and mid 70s as we work throughout our Tuesday. And then early Wednesday morning, we're going to have the bottom drop out again. Look at those readings. Got some readings over here in Somerset down to the low and mid 40s. That could very well become realized across our neck of the woods with the setup that we're dealing with, okay? It is worth noting, take a look at our dew points. We're sitting right around the lower 50s this morning. They're going to be falling all the way down as we work throughout the overnight into the early Tuesday morning hours, all the way down to the mid and upper 40s. Air is going to become very, very dry, all right? Here we are working throughout our Tuesday night on into our Wednesday morning. You can see even drier air arriving where we get the mid and upper 40s in the dew point department. And folks, heading throughout our Wednesday and on into our Thursday here, we're going to have even lower relative humidity arrive. We're going to have that northwest wind component at 15 to 25 miles an hour. Very low humidity, very high winds with that very dry environment. We could be looking at an elevated fire danger rolling through the Wednesday and Thursday time frame. So that is worth being wary of. We have become very, very dry across the region, and it looks to stay that way here throughout the vast majority of this week. Let's go back over here and let's look at the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, and let's talk about what's going to change. Here we are working throughout this week. You can see the trough remains cemented right here across the north and east. It's going to keep temperatures well below average, all right? We're going to be looking at mid and upper 70s throughout the first half of the week, peaking up to right around either side of the 80-degree mark as we head into the latter half of the work week. And then, folks, take a look here as we work into the weekend. You can see this trough digging down here. We got this upper level low trying to cement itself right here across New York. We're going to be looking at a setup with this strong northwest flow as we roll into the weekend with the opportunity at some disturbances developing here across the plains and then rolling off to the south and east. So this is a setup made for these storm complexes to develop across the plains and track in that similar direction. Right now, models are keeping the bulk of the activity just to our south and west, but we'll need to keep eyes on that throughout the long Labor Day weekend into the early days of next week, as we could get some thunderstorms in here. That remains to be seen. But right here in the short term, folks, no complaining allowed whatsoever with the very cool temperatures that are set to hang around, all right? Take a gander at the latest in the tropics. We've got Tropical Storm Fernand out here into the Atlantic. Not expected to have any impact on the mainland. Do have a little disturbance down here with a 10% probability of developing over the next week. We will be keeping eyes on that. Total rainfall amounts here over the course of the next week, next to nothing. 1/10 of an inch, creeping upwards of 1/4 of an inch at most, as we currently see. But again, a few question marks remain with that setup there as we get into the weekend with a few storms that could be impacting the area. On the flip side of that, if we do get any storms in here, it's not going to be bad news. We showcased this last week, folks, whenever this was released on Thursday of last week. We're going to continue to keep eyes on it. With the dry forecast expected at least through Thursday, we'll look at the release of the updated map there coming here on August 28th around the 8 a.m. time frame. We'll see how this is updated, folks, and I definitely expect our drought conditions to be expanded given the fact that we've got no real significant rain chances in the latest outlook. Take a look at this 6-day weather forecast, folks, and take it to the bank with you. Temperature showcasing Monday and Tuesday. It says 80 degrees, folks. I think we're going to be hard-pressed to get out of the mid and upper 70s through the midweek time frame. Mostly sunny skies, going to be beautiful. We'll have some clouds that will build in here as we work into this afternoon. But again, northwesterly winds, a little bit of cloud cover out there, low dew points and temperatures. It's going to be absolutely exquisite in the great outdoors. We'll bump highs back up to right around the low to mid 80s as promised. Thursday, following into Friday and the weekend, you will note only a pop-up shower or storm chance each of those days, but the good news is humidity should remain somewhat at bay. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Monday morning weather or not forecast presented by On Target. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a blessed start to the new work week.